See, the guy is nuts because this stuff is all crazy. But I promise, it's all in where it belongs, and it really is fun. Yes, he's really crazy. Look, there's a car up in the air. This is another great idea. This is one that we're executing for our Pleasure Island project. In this case, we've taken 3 very popular things to do: roller skate, dance, and eat. Well, one of those is very popular, I know, for sure. In this case, we're doing them all in the same place. You've got a roller skating rink around a dance floor and a DJ who flies around in a 57 Chevy that's suspended in the air, playing music and coming, like, you know, down to the floor, talking to people and flying all over. We can't tell you how that's done because that's a secret, and you might do it in your own home, and it might be dangerous. The restaurant associated with this, since it's all sort of 50s, beachy, watery, is what we call the deep end. Now, this isn't what it appears to be. You're probably looking at this and saying, somebody has placed tables at the bottom of a pool. This is untrue. It is indeed what it appears to be, but not the fact. The fact is that there's no water in here. There is no water. What that is an illusion created by us Imagineers who are forced to do this every day for a living. And these are the robot figures that we use, the AA figures, frozen forever in this attitude of diving and swimming through this pool, moving very slowly above your head, while the light that lights this place comes from the beach balls that are sitting on the surface of the water. So you retreat from this high energy, you know, what was happening right here. Teenagers screaming at each other, jumping up and down, roller skating, and some guy floating around in a car yelling and playing loud music. You go, which actually can be fun, you go to this very quiet, dream-like environment, and you have your little snacky tuna sandwiches. It's really a wonderful place to go. Also on the pier is Madison's Dive, which is a crab house that's gone full scale, and you go walk down so that you're underwater, and you look out through the windows, and even though the water's only, like we say, about 18 inches deep, which you mustn't ever tell any of your friends, when you look out the windows, it looks like it's deep and it's an ocean, and there's fish swimming around out there, which are in fact aquariums. Now again, people are looking, thinking, wait, something's terribly wrong here. Yes, something is. This is our fish out of water restaurant. Fish out of water is sort of one of the fundamental principles of developing a good story. In this case, the story is that something's wrong and beef lives in the sea. This is the best steakhouse in Los Angeles, but it's in a boat that is stuck out off the edge of the cliff, right there. Can you all see this little boat dangling like a little peanut at the edge of this cliff? You take a little rowboat, you make your reservations here, and you go out, and inside that boat is all done like a seafood restaurant with those balls that float over from Japan and the big nets and fishing poles, except that something has gone wrong because on the wall is mounted a giant stuffed steer. You know, it says Sea of Cortez, 1942, 2,000 pounds. On the wall are big paintings of sea-going vessels plowing through the ocean with cattle leaping across the bow like dolphins. On the wall are big photographs of Jacques Cousteau swimming underwater with steers going by. And here's a picture of Papa Hemingway, and he's just caught a bison because obviously what else would he catch, you know? Best steak in town, great service, great wine list, but the waiters are all dressed like Maine lobster fishermen, and there's lobster traps hanging from the ceiling that are like 12 feet long because, you know, you're catching cattle with them. Now, I must get on my knees before you and beg you, I want this to be an existing thing. I think this idea is great. This is my favorite thing in the whole wide world. And out beyond it, you can see out there, you know, are people probably living in Calabasas who are going to drive out here just to go to this. There's the boat hanging over the edge and lucky guests being rowed out to it. Now, think about this for a second, not as a boat. What it actually is a balcony suspended out here where you can have your cocktails and have this incredible view of the valley as the sun goes down. This is actually a great place. It sounds crazy, but it works. The other crazy thing we have that sounds crazy, but it's actually safer than it usually is the Ferris wheel. Now, you'll notice that the Ferris wheel is stuck like a quarter into the side of the ocean, and the ocean, as we recall, is some 6 floors up in the air. Therefore, when you go down in here and you get on the Ferris wheel, and the Ferris wheel is coming this way, you come forward, and suddenly you're outside the building, and you're quite a few feet above the ground. This is a big thrill, something that most Ferris wheels can't do till they get up high. This Ferris wheel is still at the bottom. You swing out, again, you have this gorgeous view of the valley as you go higher and higher and higher up into the sky till you're way up here, and you little crudely drawn people with their arms in the air. And then down you come again, and you sink into the water and go around several times before you decide, well, that's quite enough. I had a wonderful time. As you're doing this, this wonderful sun is setting in the west. The lights are coming up. Seagulls are sure to colonize this place and make it their home. It really feels like a wonderful fantasy environment down by the sea. Keep in mind that the whole mythology, the whole use behind this is that it will be given life, it will be given industry by being made real use of as an actual shooting location. That's not very many times during the year, I promise you. But those places begin to take on an identity so that when you tell people where you live, they go, oh yeah, I know that place. That was in that movie, you know, Guns Across the Nile or whatever. But ultimately, it's meant to be a part of the community. It's meant to be accessible to pedestrian traffic. It's meant to be the kind of place where you can take a stroll with your kids and your parents, and you can walk up here and sit at the edge of the ocean and watch the sunset. And that is entertainment. And that's all I have to say.
Thank you, Joe.
Thank you.
So that is somewhat theatrically presented our project. Basically, we're going to plan to use all of those streets to shoot movies. Basically, it's going to be a movie experience tied in with retail and dining. Thank you all for your time.
Thank you, Mr. Eisner. And